Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to make a video on upgrading my current home toolkit. Right here is my current kit. It's not much of a kit, but it is just a collection of tools that I've had forever, essentially. I won't go into a whole lot of detail about what's in these, but I will do a brief overview, especially this one back here. So this front one is one of those Work Pro bags that were, I think this one came from my girlfriend. It's not much. It came with like a basic, set of tools, hammer, screwdriver, stuff like that. And I'll say something about this one in a moment. This old guy it didn't come with this. It actually, a bunch of tools was given to me by an old maintenance man, and he threw everything inside of an old tackle box and handed that to me when I was like, I don't know, 11. So I moved some of it to this Tupperware for some reason at some point, and this is where it's been ever since. Over here I have the very durable and highly sought after IKEA drill. I'm not even quite sure how I got this. It just fell into my lap, but I've used it and it's held its own for, the 5 years that I've used it around the house. But yeah, so there's that three. This one back here is actually an old Harbor Freight tote that I threw together a few months ago to work on the Ender 3 with, like better wrenches and Allen keys, things of that nature, set of a small screwdriver, bit set, stuff like that. On the side I have some cutters. So yeah, there's not much to say about this guy. So I just wanted to give a brief overview of that. Yeah, the reason why I wanted to upgrade from this is because anytime that I want to do anything around the house, I have to dig through stuff in here. It's just, not the higher end of tools. So, which is, nothing's wrong with that. It's just that that's not what I want. I will say that when I do go to use these tools, I'm usually going inside of this Work Pro bag here. I tend to reach for this Cheapo Depot 6-in-1. It's a pink screwdriver. It does what it needs to do. Another reason why I wanted to upgrade from this stuff is because I actually do have really nice tools, but I just use them professionally at work. And if I want to do stuff around the house, I have to bring them from work, store them in the truck or whatever, and then take them back to work and unload them, reload them. Although it's not very likely, they could get stolen, out of the vehicle while it's in there. I just wanted something to keep at the house at all times. That's really nice, and I don't have to worry about it getting stolen, or I don't have to worry about it getting too dirty. Okay, so I'm just gonna knock all this off the table and I'm gonna throw up the new toolkit, and we'll do a deep dive on all the fancy new tools that I have. Okay, here's the new and upgraded toolkit. As you can see, I have a Veto Pro Pack and some Bosch tools laying next to it. I just want to have like a miniature disclosure here and say that it's a privilege to be able to afford some nice tools like this. Not everybody can afford nice tools like this, and maybe some of these tools are part of your wish list, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. And secondly, that you don't really need all this stuff that's inside of my kit. Most of this is just overkill, to be frank. It's really nice, and it's a hobby to collect tools and to collect nice things, and it's nice to have nice things, so that's why I do it. But I don't want you to get discouraged. Your kit doesn't have to be this flashy, So I wanted something nice for the house. Consider this my pavement princess. It's not going to get dirty. I'm not going to beat on this stuff. I'm going to take really good care of it and wipe it off after every use. So yeah, let's get into the tour, and we're going to start with these two with the Bosch stuff, and then we're going to move over to the bag. Okay, this right here are my drills, and this guy up here are my wrenches. And let's start with the drills. When I was online, I was trying to think of some nice, compact, smaller drills to use at work, and I ended up getting these Bosch ones. And I liked them so much, I decided to keep them at the house, and I thought, well, screw it, I'll just make a whole new kit. This was kind of like the starting piece of it all. I finally got to the point where I thought that 20 bolt was a little bit too much. It's just overkill for a lot of stuff that I need to do, especially around the house. So I got these, and yeah, I love them a lot. They're super cool. I recommend these. CM Pack. Super nice. It's basically all I'll ever need for a home drill. And this one is the wrenches. These wrenches are super nice. These are the Bosch ratcheting spanners. Yeah, 8 up to 19 mil. And yeah, they're super nice. The coolest thing about these is that I was really expecting them to make a noise, like a ratcheting noise, as you would expect from traditional ratchet, but it's silent. Doesn't make a single peep, which is cool. I was a little taken aback, but maybe I'll miss the ratcheting, maybe I won't. The colors on here are really nice. Okay, now with the drills and wrenches out of the way, I'd like to go over the bag itself. This is the Pro Pack Tech MC. It was very hard to decide on a bag, but I kind of went with Veto, bit the bullet, and got this one. So I'm going to start on the outside. On the front side, I think this is the front at least. I don't have anything in here. This side, I have the chalk shot. Super nice. Anytime I'm securing anything to a wall, floor, ceiling, or anything like that, most of the time I'm going to grab this. It's really handy. This over here is a Klein Sharpie. This is the red one. Got a pack of them of different colors. This guy right here is a tape measure. This is a really dingy one that you might get at like some convention. Maybe like some salesman has like, you know, their company or something, whatever, on here, and they're like, hey, yeah, take this. Ironically, this is like my favorite tape measure, although I have, I don't know, maybe half a dozen other ones that are much nicer, so to speak. But this one at one point of time had a pen. It has a bubble level on the side, and then this part flips up and you can take your measurement notes. It's a little stash of sticky notes. Another good thing about this guy is that it holds really well and it slips back super quick. By far one of my favorite tape measures, ironically. On this back pocket, I have a small Q-tips container of miscellaneous hardware. Really comes in handy, you know, if I just need a drywall screw or a washer, right there. This side, I have thread tape. Electrical tape will go on here at some point, but thread tape for now. Blue Klein marker. You'll see a lot of Klein in this bag. Mechanical pencil, and this is one of those ratcheting 1/4 inch things. I think this came from like some sort of furniture kit, probably from IKEA if I had to guess, or Wayfair or something like that. Last thing on the outside is the 16-ounce S-wing hammer. This one's really nice, my go-to hammer. Kind of concerned about leaving it on this D ring or the shoulder straps, but it's holding up pretty fine. It's not awkward really, it just sits there. It's super cool. We will start on this side for the interior. Oh, I almost forgot to mention my little robot Lucky keychain. On this side, I have bits. This is DeWalt branded bits inside of this very bulky container. And this little pocket, and this pouch, should I say, a Klein hot stick and outlet tester. I also keep a couple other things in there, small miscellaneous meter stuff. Here's the Klein metric Allen keys. If anyone can explain to me how this color coding works, I'd really appreciate that. You'll see the other ones. I consider this one sweet and the other one savory. Reminds me of cotton candy. I have just some random knife, and down here I have Ozark Trail multi-tool. I don't really use either of these. They're just in there just as backup. Here are the Klein shears. These are super cool. Really like these. And then this one is my Klein meter. Now this is a super overkill meter for home stuff. You definitely do not need something like this, but it's really nice. I might actually trade this out for my work one, because this one's just too much. It does everything I need and then some. Amp clamp, can ohm anything, of course. The only thing left inside of this bag is this little tube of thread sealant, and I usually don't keep materials inside of my tool bags. However, this is pretty small and it fits in there pretty nicely, so yeah, and I can go into reasons why I don't keep materials inside of my tool bag at a later date. Okay, I'm gonna get this wrapped up and we'll turn it around and take a look at the other side. Okay, here's the other side of my home toolkit. And there we are. A lot going on in here, and we'll go through each tool. Starting on the left side, I have mostly pliers. In this pocket specifically, I have Knipex. Here are the mini pliers wrench. These were a lot smaller than I thought, but they're cool. Okay, here are my mini twin grips. These are sweet. I've never had Knipex pliers before. I've used these once and they're super awesome. Really like them. Right here is a small Cheapo Depot bit extender, and here is a bit that came with one of the Klein things. Oop. Nail set from DeWalt. Ratcheting stubby from Klein. And this one flips around like most Klein stuff. I have a pen and 2 black Klein markers here. And down here I have a tiny pair of flush cut pliers. Okay, back on this side I have the 7 1/4 Knipex pliers wrench. These are awesome. I love these little guys, especially the color of the metal. Here are the larger, I think these are the 8-inch twin grips. These are sweet. And then I have the medium size Cobras. I think these are mediums at least. These are the needle noses I went with. I've used these at work. These are the spring loaded, I guess you can call them DeWalt needle nose pliers. I like these a lot because they're springs, but they also have a lock and the handles are straight. They're not that curved type. I really don't like that. So I really enjoy these. I use these a lot. Again, I went with DeWalt with this one. Thought these would be nice. These are the bigger flush cut pliers or wire cutters or whatever you want to call them, but yeah, these are nice. Okay, I'm back on this side. I got DeWalt level. This one has some sort of rotating gauge on it. I don't know about that. but it's pretty cool. The magnet seems stronger than all the other ones in that aisle when I was shopping. Here I have Klein wire strippers. I do usually use Klein wire strippers, just not this variation. The other ones I have kind of do the spread apart type, if you know what I mean. I went with these because these are less bulkier than the other ones I'm used to, but I don't really like them because they don't have a locking mechanism in the handle, so they're always open. Here is a big pair of plier wrench. This one is made by Klein, actually. So Klein started making plumbing tools, and I figured I'd give this one a shot. I noticed I didn't have a 10-inch plier wrench, so I went out and got one. Decided to go with Klein. This will probably go with my work stuff, and I might get the Knipex version and put them in here. And this is what I was talking about with the other version of the Klein Allen keys. This is the Imperial version. And these are darker colored. Like I said, they're like the savory version. But also, if you could tell me what the color code means, I'd appreciate that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I just don't get it. Over on this end, I have a beater. This is the Stanley screwdriver. Beforehand, it was actually like my go-to flathead, but now since it's up here in this bag, it's the beater. And over here is the S-Wing cat's paw. I love a cat's paw. I always got to have one. So okay, coming up on the screwdrivers, this corner I have the flathead Klein insulated screwdriver. Always have to have one of these. This guy here is the ratcheting socket screwdriver. This handle and socket were two different purchases. This came from like a deep socket kit, and then this one came from just by itself. So mashed them together and they work pretty well. This little guy right here, I really like this guy. This is the little 27-in-1 Tech screwdriver with the carousel bits in the bottom. Super sweet. And this guy is the impact rated screwdriver. Yeah, I just love a good ratcheting screwdriver, and I went with Klein. I have a different version of these that I just absolutely love. And the same as that smaller Tech one, it has that carousel in the bottom with all the different bits, so I really don't need any other screwdriver but this one. And last but not least, I have the insulated Phillips head Klein screwdriver. Yeah, these are just, I really don't need any other type of insulated screwdrivers, just this one and that one, and then everything in between can be done with these guys. So yeah, that's the new home tool kit. I'm going to get it buttoned back up. Yeah, so my final thoughts, it's a huge improvement from that old mess that I was working with. Now that if I have anything going on around the house, I can just pull out one of the tools that I need. I have everything I need for those smaller tasks. If you're building a kit, I hope this helps and maybe give you some inspiration on what you put in your kit. Most of the tools in here are pretty rock solid. I do recommend a few, and that's just that Knipex pliers wrench style of pliers. Not specifically Knipex, but that style of pliers wrench is super handy. I've had a pair of Icon before, and I've loved them. So I highly recommend those, and I also recommend those DeWalt needle nose pliers. Those are just really nice. I was kind of on the fence about them at first, but after using them a few times, they're really nice. So yeah, I invite you to share what you like or what you don't like about the toolkit. Leave a comment, or yeah. So thank you for watching.